Hi there, my name is Sonnet and I love to talk about crochet and amigurumi and yarn and all things crafty. And in today's video, we're going to be going over some of the non-sew or low-sew patterns that have been catching my eye lately. Craft market season is here and a lot of us are working really hard to create a ton of things to sell to potential customers. And sometimes no-sew patterns are exactly what I need to make sure I have enough inventory for a certain market without spending a ton of time making an amigurumi. So I have 13 amigurumi patterns that are either classified as no-sew or low-sew. I did throw the low-sew in there because it's just a little bit of sewing, doesn't take too much time, but the main thing is it's gotta save me a bunch of time when it comes to sewing on pieces and things. So let's go ahead and dive into the free patterns first, since free is awesome. Now the first pattern is this pocket frog here from the Yarn Society website. Now, I could not find the name of the designer of this frog, but I will have all of the links in the description down below. This pattern is classified as an advanced beginner pattern, and there's also a ton of photos and videos to help you along with this pattern if you are relatively new. And looking through this pattern, this darling little frog looks super cute and super simple and fast. I can see making up a ton of these in various different colors, and it's just really fun. Frogs, I feel, are really popular right now. It does have bobble stitches in it too, which are some of my favorite stitches to do. I don't know what it is. I just love doing a bobble stitch. So I do plan to make some of these for my upcoming market. Next, we have this Crochet Succulent by Stitch by Faye. Oh, wow. I love this pattern. I love to crochet plants and succulents and flowers and things like that, but I do feel like they take a ton of time to crochet, especially if they have a ton of petals and things. But because this is a no-sew, I can't wait to give this a try. And if it works up as fast and as easy and as cute as I think it's going to, you can bet that my house is going to be adorned with a ton of these darling little crochet succulents in various colors. And oh my gosh, I love, love, love the look of these. It does also incorporate a spike stitch in there, which is probably my favorite kind of like decorative stitch. I don't know, a spike stitch is just so fun, adds so much fun texture. And I like that the pattern actually does call for DK weight yarn, but of course you can use any weight of yarn you want. There's no limitation on that, but I probably will be making some of these with a DK weight. Looking through the pattern, I would say this is an advanced beginner pattern as well. It does look fairly simple, but there are some specialty stitches such as the spike stitches. There are some back loops that you need to work into. So I would make sure you are a little bit more familiar with crochet patterns and some of the terms for some of these special stitches, and maybe a little bit more familiar with these specialty stitches before you try this one. Okay, so the next one is kind of strange. But I love him. I think he is so cute and I need one. This is the No-Sew Huggy Friend by Crocheting Koalas. I found this pattern over on Ravelry, and the moment I saw this weird, silly, but super sweet and supportive friend, I knew I had to add this one to the list. He has really long arms and really long legs, which is perfect for wrapping you in that hug that you and I need from time to time. So there is an option to include Velcro or snaps or magnets or something. That way the hands can clasp together and stay that way so it can hang around or hug whatever it needs to. I think this is so cute. I think this is really sweet. And especially these are kind of really fun if you are looking for a special gift for someone. I think a huggy friend is really great. You might not be able to be with them all the time, but they can always have their huggy friend to know that there's someone there for them when they need it. The next pattern, holy cow, this thing looks like it is very intricate. So even though it is no-sew, I don't know how quick this one is going to be, but that is Calliope the Caterpillar. This is a pattern by Projectarian, which I also found on Ravelry. And just looking at this thing, it looks like it is a ton of detail. Now this is a free pattern on Ravelry, like I said, and the PDF download, holy cow, there's like a whole, backstory to Calliope. The difficulty specialty of this pattern is an advanced pattern, and it is using US terminology. So like I said, there's a lot going on here. There is a lot of different types of yarns being used. There's a fluffy yarn. There are different segments that you work. And it says the entire thing is no-sew except adding the eyes and the face details. And there is a free YouTube video as well, which is really helpful. So there's Calliope the caterpillar, not the quickest project, not entirely no-sew, but the fact that it is low-sew, you just attach the eyes, and the fact that she is so crazy and wild and unique. Oh, I love this pattern. I think this is super cool. And don't be surprised if you see this one on my table at my next craft market. Next up, we have a pattern by Stringy Ding Ding. You guys know I love Stringy Ding Ding patterns. They are featured in almost every single one of my pattern roundup videos because they have amazing free patterns. And for this video, Stringy Ding Ding is back with their no-sew taco. I love crocheting foods. Foods have always been my #1 seller at my craft markets, and I love to make them. They are some of my favorite things to make. They make me super happy, and then they make me super hungry, which isn't the best thing, but you know what? Who doesn't want a taco? I love tacos, and I love crocheted tacos even more. Now the taco does use a loop stitch and a popcorn stitch, so I would definitely classify this as an intermediate pattern. And it does say actually right here on the website, it is an intermediate pattern. But you basically just crochet everything into a big round flat pancake looking taco, and then you just put it together, fold it together to make the taco. Do you love tacos as much as I do? Oh, they're so good. Maybe that's what I'll have for dinner tonight. So the last pattern we have in the free section is this darling crochet penguin. This is the Crochet Penguin by Jess Huff. Much like the Calliope the caterpillar, I don't know how fast this project is going to be. It does appear to take a little bit more time than some of the patterns in this roundup, but I decided to include this one simply because this is a great looking penguin for being no-sew. And it does say here on the blog, it is 100% no-sew. Now the website does say this is an intermediate or advanced pattern, so if you're new to crocheting or amigurumi making, you might want to do a few other low-sew patterns before tackling this one. I'm really looking forward to trying out this pattern. I think this looks super fun, and I've never done a Jess Huff pattern before, so I can't wait to try it out. So now that we've gone over our free low/no-sew patterns, let's go ahead and talk about some paid ones. Now this first one I had to include because it looks super cute, and you know what? It's almost the holidays. And what is the holiday season without your very own no-sew Grinch? He may be a nasty wasty skunk, but I think this little Grinch is darling. The description of this pattern also does say that it requires minimal crochet knowledge, so I have a feeling this would be very good for a advanced beginner. And I did forget to mention, I'm sorry, this is by Peekaboo Toys on Etsy. So if you're looking for a simple no-sew holiday project, then I think this might be one you want to check out. Okay, for the next pattern, let's be real. Mushrooms, they're everywhere. They are in. Mushrooms are it. And so of course we have a low-sew mushroom pattern. This is Elliot the Mushroom by Nana's Crochet. And oh my gosh, I saw this. I had to include it. He is so plushy. He is so cute. And I love his little overalls. It does say too in the item description that this pattern does come with a printable version too. Just want to throw that in there. As someone who prefers to print my patterns, I think that's really nice when designers offer this. And the description states it is an advanced beginner pattern. So if you're like me and you are obsessed with all things mushrooms, definitely check out Elliot. So the next pattern says that it is a minimal sew. So I believe there is some sewing that goes into this pattern, but with it saying minimal sew, it kind of sounds like low sew to me. So that's why I included it. And the main reason I included it is because there is this chicken. This is Chubby Chick Daisy by Colores Crochet. And oh my goodness, I saw this really silly chick and I had to include it in this pattern video. I just love the big eyes. I love the funny little headband with the frog eyes and that cute little fish purse. Oh my gosh, this thing is so silly. I saw this amigurumi and I immediately started cracking up, and so I had to include it. I will be making this one for sure because I just imagine it's going to bring a smile to anybody that sees this Chubby Chick Daisy. How stinking cute. So while I was actually collecting a lot of these patterns, I was doing so next to my husband. And when we saw this one, I said, should I put that in the video? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And that is the Bananasaurus by Crafted Jean. What is there to say about this? It's a Bananasaurus. It is a dinosaur. It is a banana. It is together and it is super cute. Now, I would say this is an advanced beginner pattern because there is some color changes that go into it. But if you have made a few amigurumi and you're starting to get a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more adventurous, maybe you try out the Bananasaurus. And I think it might go well for you. So yes, love that one. I think it is so cute and think this would be a total hit with some kiddos. Next, we have these Low-Sew turtles, but they're not any turtle. These are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so I thought these were super cute. They're no-sew. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have always been super popular and I just think they're really fun. I know so many people that would love to have some of these, so I had to include them. Now the listing doesn't say whether it's like an advanced beginner or a beginner pattern, but looking at these turtles, these look relatively simple. There's a couple bobble stitches in there that I see, and there is a bit of color work, but overall, I would say this is definitely an advanced beginner pattern, and I love that you can customize them and change the turtle based off of your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Mine's Donatello. Who's yours? Next up, we have more chickens and more chicks, but these ones were just really, really cute. This is the No-Sew Chicken and Chicks by Thread Tutorial, and I really liked the design of these chickens. I do feel like chickens are very popular when it comes to plushies right now, but I really liked the shape of these. I thought they were a little bit more interesting, a little bit different than what I have been seeing a lot of. Now the little chicks look to be an advanced beginner pattern for sure. They don't look too difficult at all. So maybe if you are newer to crochet and you get this one, test it out with the chicks first, and if that's easy peasy, you can go ahead and move on to that chicken. I don't think it's going to be terribly difficult, but just looks like it requires a little bit more know-how than some of the other no-sew patterns we've talked about. Which leads me to the last pattern in our page section, and that is this darling Low-Sew Yeti by Liraloon Softies. I love Liraloon designs, and so when I found the Liraloon Softies on Etsy, oh my goodness, I love it. So you have that very classic Liraloon look that this designer has, but these plushies aren't quite as detailed, won't take nearly as long as the other ones, and they're still just as cute and even more fluffy. I love, love, love Yetis, and this one is super cute. Plus, Liraloon design also has great eyes, so if you're looking for more custom safety eyes, definitely check out their eye shop as well. And based off of what I see from this pattern, I would say this would be an advanced beginner pattern. There's nothing here that should be terribly difficult, and again, it is low sew, so that saves a bunch of time and effort. But that's it. Those are all of the patterns that I wanted to talk about. Please let me know your favorite no-sew or low-sew designs, or are you the kind of person that doesn't like no-sew projects? I personally go back and forth. I don't mind sewing amigurumi, and I do think I like the look of sewn limbs on more than some of the no-sew ones, but there's also times like now when I'm in a bit of a time crunch and I don't have time to be sewing on every single piece of an ami, so low sew patterns and no sew patterns can be a time saver for sure. Now, I have been mentioning it a lot. I do have a crochet market coming up on the 7th of December. So if you live in Colorado, then be sure to check out the Holiday Winter Bazaar, I think it's called. But that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for joining me today. You You guys are so amazing. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you are enjoying November, and I will see you all a little later. Bye.